They were really designed for furniture builders to build frames. You can also use them and find them in pallet applications, crating, and they will find their way to the job site for sheathing. Fire at a 90-degree angle and still be able to actuate the tool properly and then of course fit into that space.
Hey, what's happening? Barnaby here. So you want to know more about these BeA Heavy Wire staplers? Well, we're in luck. Sebastian of BeA joining us on set here at Tool Select for what we call, Sebastian, a manufacturer show-off, because we love to hear from the people that make the tools about who they're intended for, some of the design cues to figure out, are they in fact the right tool for us? So let's start with that. Who are these intended for?
Well, these are heavy wire tools, 16 and 17 gauge. They were really designed for furniture builders to build frames. You can also use them and find them in pallet applications, crating, and they will find their way to the job site for sheathing.
Yeah, one of our tool testers actually tweeted us recently. He said, hey, I got a BeA that I'm using for sheathing, so it could be used out on the job site.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about these because I know they're recently redesigned. So what was the thought in mind when you came to retooling them?
Well, two of the main things that we found out when we approached manufacturers were they're looking for a tool that's fast and can drive a longer staple.
Okay.
And drive it consistently.
Okay, so as far as the power of it, how do you achieve better power?
Well, the power is, as you can tell, the handle looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's A, to have a well-balanced tool, and then B, also you have more air in the tool so that you can have that drive and the speed available to you.
Yeah, because it used to be that all the frames for furniture were hardwoods, but now they become even harder woods because they're OSB, right?
Correct, yes, and that's one challenge we're faced with, and so we overcame this with these tools.
Yeah, interesting offset too to the what I call the butt end right here. Right now, will that allow you to get into better spaces, tighter spaces?
Absolutely. That was another thing. You have a lot of tight corners in furniture frames. The tools need to be able to fit in there. You need to do what we call toenailing, so fire at a 90-degree angle and still be able to actuate the tool properly and then of course fit into that space.
Okay, yeah, I just noticed the moment of actuation right there, so explain that to me.
Correct. Well, this is a safety that you need by law,
right,
so that you don't shoot yourself. So you press the tool down and then pull the trigger. You can of course also bump fire them for higher speed, so you pull the trigger and then you just keep on bouncing the tool.
Yeah.
So that's a big feature, and then also you'll notice, even though it's a pretty big tool because of the heavy wire staple, this nose is very, very thin to be able to fit into those tight spaces.
Okay, and for a lot of people, the accomplished folks on the factory lines, they like to be able to move at a rapid rate.
Correct.
So how fast can you go with these?
Well, these tools fire a couple of staples per second. It almost looks like an auto fire tool, which it's not, but it's a very, very fast tool.
Yeah, okay, and with speed comes the goes to the machine sometimes, you get a jam, right?
Correct.
So how do you clear?
Really easily. You have a quick clear latch on here, little lever, nose folds up, and you remove the staple that's bent. Okay. Close it back up and you're ready to go.
Okay, and then the load on it, pretty easy?
Loading also very quick. You just pull this back, take your staples, drop them in, you're ready to go. So you don't lose any production time at all.
Yeah, so what gauge will these run?
Well, these are 16 and 17 gauge. 16 gauge you'll find mainly on the job site due to code, and then 17 gauge becomes a new standard in furniture. Okay,
so you guys have been around for a good long time, and I know that because we shot a one-on-one with Sebastian where you kind of filled us in on all the background info of BeA, how long you've been making tools, what the design philosophy is, all of that. But let's talk about the longevity of it because you do have such a history. With proper maintenance, how long will these tools last, would you figure?
We'll find tools in the factories actually that have the paint completely worn off, and we figure they are 5 to 10 years old. Okay. And that's our philosophy, to build a rugged tool that will last in industrial use.
So if you're going to be doing the sheathing and not doing it under 24-hour-a-day sort of parameters, you can expect that tool to last even longer.
Correct.
Yeah, all right, so now how do we find these tools?
Well, we have 200 authorized distributors throughout the country, so they are available from those distributors. Okay. Also, distributors do the service. If you don't know where a distributor is, call us in Greensboro, and then we will direct you to the right distributor in your area.
Okay, cool. And so lastly, what's the warranty on these?
They have a 1-year manufacturer's warranty.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for all the good information.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you know what? It's all about getting the story. You want to know about the tool before you buy it, and you can flip through catalogs endlessly. Maybe even talk to some friends, but it's always cool to hear from the manufacturer about what they were thinking about as you search for the right tool for the job.